men are assholes. I've said this before. How do you decide what fitness is? Do you know how much I work out? So anything that tells me this number is apt for you, thank you, I don't need it.
So, according to you, in today's time, more India specific, let's be more India specific, what do you think would define a good feminist and a bad feminist?
A good feminist is one who believes in intersectionality, who believes that all women and all men deserve the same rights, and is in touch with her or his own privilege, and is willing to change it and let go of that privilege so that others, those ones who are less privileged, can also be a part of the society and benefit from it. So somebody who is like the person who spoke, I can't remember his name, where he categorically said the problem is with the men. We need people, we need feminists who acknowledge where the problem is, that they've also been part of it, and that eventually, that if for things to change, they first have to acknowledge themselves and then bring about that change and be a part of it so that things have become better for the next generation.
So when you say let go of your privilege, I feel like I've been born in a very, very privileged family. What do you say to somebody like me? How would you think I would let go of it?
So I'll talk from my point of view. I'm fair-skinned, and a lot of times people cut me slack, and this is men are assholes, I've said this before, but a lot of them still find me attractive because of my fair skin, and it only hit me when they made me realize it, that even though I am fat, they're okay with me because of my skin. So the first thing I feel like as a person is I don't endorse any form of fairness creams. I do not necessarily approve when they put only fair skin models or actresses in our magazine. So even though this in some way benefits me, I am happy with it not being a part. I am happy if you tomorrow take off from the magazines at least 70% of light skinned women and put dusky skin girls. They need more representation than me. Just like I wish a thin woman would say, I'm okay if there's 70% of women in our magazines that are not thin, are plus size or fat or curvy, or women with saggy boobs and cellulites and stretch marks. I mean, how are we going to change if you yourself don't want to let go? So this is what I say. This is what I tell everybody, that we all have our own little privileges. I am okay with it as long as it benefits others, because there are certain things you can't change. So holding on to it and letting that thing empower you is not helpful. You need to let go of what is not relevant, because it's not going to be helpful to the next generation, right? So you've got to let go so that the girl who comes after you doesn't feel inferior.
And one last thing, so talking more in terms of what you spoke about on stage, so what is the difference between somebody telling somebody that, hey, obviously if somebody is like ridiculing and being really mean, totally different thing, but do you think somebody is being wrong when they tell the other person, hey, doing something like this or being more fit is healthier for you?
How do you decide what fitness is? Do you know how much I work out? I swim for 50 minutes a day. I go for a walk. I gym. I do yoga.
Can I cut you there?
Sorry.
I would define it as the amount of fat and muscle in your body. What is the right amount of...
Subjective. The whole BMI, the whole body mass index.
I'm not talking in terms of BMI. There have been different studies in terms of the amount of fat and muscle in your body defining. Like if you say, you see me and you say, oh, you're thin. But I know the amount of fat. Firstly, I'm underweight, which is also wrong. And
I'm working actually no wrong.
Oh, because I am weak, and I think that is wrong.
Weak
I don't want to be weak.
So for my age and for my body, I can deal with it. I can swim, I can run, I can do yoga. I am pretty much fit. I'm flexible for my age and for my weight. I'm pretty much that. In terms of losing it, I have starved myself to death. Like I said, I used to live on 8 strawberries a day. It helped me nothing. It made my PCOD worse. I live with chronic acidity. So I rather go back to a lifestyle where I am at peace with this body. I mean, we've been ingrained to think that thin is fit, but that's wrong, because for you to be fit, you need to know your body. You need to be able to deal with obstacles. I am able to stand for 8 hours on my feet on a shoot without complaining. I am able to walk these many steps. I am able to swim that many laps. If I can't do that, that's when I realize maybe I need to reevaluate my fitness and health. But till I can do that, till I can live life up to my capacity for my age and my body, I see no reason to. Aesthetically, I'm no more altering my body. If it needs to happen for a health reason, perhaps. But right now, no. I'm pretty healthy. I'm pretty happy mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm not going to starve myself. I'm not going to do crazy workouts. That don't work for me.
But what if somebody brought to you something, not from a marketing point of view, but from an actual point of view, somebody brought to you, okay, you know what, this sort of a, not diet per se, following this food plan.
That restricts your food habits is diet. You can package it as healthy, you can package it as organic. Anything that restricts your intake is diet. However you package it. Diet not as in the dieting, as in terms of controlling and monitoring what we put into our bodies. And that can be anything. You know this 2,000 calories a day thing? think it's rubbish because all bodies are not equal. I can't do 2000 calories because I burn that much more energy. So I need more. So anything that tells me this number is apt for you, thank you, I don't need it.
So, but if somebody comes to you directly with something saying specifically altered to your body, your lifestyle.
We've done that.
So you think it is not correct for somebody if they're coming with good faith to you, not with ridiculing to you?
You actually can't walk up to me and say without...
Not as a random person.
No, in generally also, if I seek your advice or if I seek your help, then I'm seeking professional help. But if I have not chosen to ask for you, or if I need help, I will go. If you're hurt, you go to the doctor. The doctor won't come to you. So nobody can voluntarily come to me if I don't want that, right? I mean, if somebody walks up to me, hey, lose weight, I'm like, तेरे बाप का क्या चाहता है? तेरा खाती हो क्या? नहीं ना. तो फिर it's like that. So I know my body. I have listened to the world and I'm listening to it. Trust me on that. You can't look at somebody and decide, just like you can't look at me and decide what blood group I am. You can't look at me and decide what sexuality I am. Similarly, you can't look at me and decide whether I'm fit or not.
So if anybody goes up to a friend of theirs who they know and they've not been at their healthiest and they give them some actual advice on terms to changing that,
who decides why should you give advice? Would you like
that's what I'm saying. Okay, let me just finish. So would you call that person to be a bad feminist if they go ahead and do that?
I don't define feminist. I mean, nobody's a perfect feminist. I mean, in an ideal world, yes, but in a real world, we all do things that may be, quoted as bad feminist. But the reality is, if you call yourself a feminist and you still choose to body shame me in the pretense of health or in the pretense of concern, you're still body shaming me. And then you're completely going against the whole idea of intersectional feminism, because radical fat acceptance, body positivity are very integral to intersectional feminism. So you can't have one without the other. It either you clap with both hands, you can't clap with one hand. So if you say I am a feminist but I'll still shame you because I'm doing it out of concern, no thank you. It's like people saying, they do that same with gay people, or they do that same thing with trans people. You're confused, or you're not sure of yourself. It's the same thing. How can a person not know what his or her body is, right? Simple.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.